Good evening, Facebook family. Coming on again. Stewart family, we're coming in to share with you once again. Share with you once again and to enjoy the Word of God and to pray for you all. And we hope that you're tuning in with us. We're going to wait a few minutes to allow the people that want to listen and share and hear us talking about the Word and talking about the family tonight. Our topic tonight we'll be talking about the family and what family is, what family means, and I will be asking my children what they think family means to them, and we're going to incorporate love and the environment of a family, because right now there's a lot of families that are at home and they haven't had much time to be with each other. But since this crisis has come up, people have been sitting in their houses and talking among each other, maybe some not talking to each other, and just in their own corners in their own room. But we're going to talk about the value of a family, what the family means. I even have my grandbaby here this evening. I hope she act right, because if she don't, we're going to put her over there in her playpen and she's going to play by herself until we finish. But hopefully she'll act right. I'm going to give her a little act right in a minute. But I thank God for you all tuning in and want to listen. We are the Stewart family, and we're part of Ultimate Faith Ministry. And I thank God for the ministry. I thank God because God is going to grow the ministry even more. But I just want to speak to you, encourage your heart, and encourage the family to stick together. Now that you got time to get together, just stick together. Love one another. Love on each other. And just show how much you love your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers. I mean, even if you can't get to your sisters and brothers because you're at home with your own family, reach out to them. Call them each day and share something, the Word of God with them, and let them know that you're thinking about them and that you are praying for them. So those of you, right now I'm going to ask that my children sing. I love to hear them sing, and they sing very well, and I pray that God bless them even more and anoint them even more to sing great so they can bless the hearts of other people. At this time, the Stewart family is getting ready to sing. Not yet. Wait for everybody. Wait for everybody.
How many need Him on tonight? Lord, you are so
soulless without you. I need you.
a strong tower. Lord, you are a strong tower. Lord, you are pure and holy. Lord, you are pure and holy. Lord, you are the very end. Lord, you are the very end. And I cannot imagine what my life would be without you. I know I would be hopeless. I'm a wretched undone without you. That's why I can't be without you. And I won't last without you. Oh Lord, I need you. I need you. And I'm so lost without you. I know that I will fail alone. I need you. I need you. Everybody say, oh, 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 I need you. Everybody say, oh, I need you. Everybody say, I need you. Everybody say, I need you. And I cannot imagine what my life would be without you.
Oh God.
I know I would be hopeless. I'm a wretch undone without you. That's why I can't be without you, and I won't last without you. I need you. I need you. And I'm so lost without you. I know that I will fail alone. I need you. I need you. And I cannot imagine what my life would be without you. Help me say it. And I cannot imagine. And I cannot imagine what my life would be without you. Say it again. And I cannot imagine what my life would be without you. I know I would be hopeless. I know I would be hopeless. I'm a wretch undone without you. That's why I need you.
Oh yes, oh yes. Amen, amen. I can't even imagine my life without Christ in it. I just can't even think about it, because the worst thing come to mind that I wouldn't be able to survive without Him. And I thank Him for being in my life. I thank God for saving me.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the word said no man come unto the Father except the Spirit draws them. I thank God that His Spirit drew me to Him. Yes, because I can't get enough of Him. I can't pray enough. I can't fast enough. Can't read my Bible enough. I just be so hungry when it comes down to just praising my Savior, my God. You know, I thank God for Him on tonight. I thank God for having my family at the table with me. The husband will be joining in a minute. But I thank God for you all that are listening. My little phone where I can read the names are a little bit too far from me. But I want you to stay on, and I'm going to try to see the best way I can so I can call out the names. And thank you for joining us. And if you have any prayer requests, before we end tonight, we will be praying for you. You just put your prayers on the screen, and I have one of them move up that can see better than Mama can. And I let them get up there and, you know, call out the names to me and what's going on and what you're praying for, and we will be praying for you. We want you to know that we love you and we think about you every minute of the day because you are important to God and you are also important to us. On tonight, we're going to talk about family. And one thing when I start, thinking about family, I thank God for my family. I thank God for my family before I had my family. Because I thank God that I had a father that was a pastor and a preacher. And he was strict. He was strict. Yes, he was. But I thank God for it when I look back over my life because there's some things that I missed that could have got me if he hadn't have been strict as he were on his children. But he had a great example before us. He gave us a saved man. We saw that. He loved his wife and he loved his children. And he worked hard to make sure that he took care of his children. So I thank God for that environment that I was brought up in. Not too many people get to have both parents in the house. But I thank God I had my mother and my father in the house. And there was a balance in there. And one thing, when my father passed, and at the funeral, I was sitting there just thanking God that my dad didn't have a whole lot of money to leave us, but he left us the greatest thing that he could ever leave us. He left us God in our heart. He taught us how to love God. He taught us how to trust God. He taught us that you cannot live or survive without God. You'll go through life without him, and then there's death. He said, but you cannot make it good through this life without God and then end up on the other side with him. And I thank God for that on tonight. So I'm going to start out with my children. Whichever one want to start first, we're going to talk about what family means to them. And you can chime in too what family means to you. We'll look at it on the page here, and I get somebody to read it out, the husband or somebody that can see a little better than me. And I'll have to put my glasses on so I can see a little bit. But I thank God on tonight. We're going to start. Which one want to start? Come on, talk to me.
I always start. So it's
Okay, Jalisa. She said she always starts, so I have to go to somebody. Come on, Anthony. You're the oldest.
What family means to me is support. And the first interaction of having a friend. When I was younger, it was just me and my sister at first. So my mom always said, this is your best friend. And we took that to this day. And we had our brothers that came along. We adapted that with them as well. So we're all best friends. And we always say that we don't really need friends because we have each other to keep each other company and laughing and, joking around the house where we don't need any extras, but, we allow other people to come in and join in our family with us, add to the friendships that we already have with each other. And family also means support. Whatever one person is doing in our family, we always support them. Like just recently, my brother was making the masks, and we supported him. We all sat down and started making masks with him. And stuff like that, we come together as one when we need each other. Yes. Not, getting upset, oh, you're making masks and making money, and I ain't making money, so I'm not going to help you. Or you may do something better than me, I'm not going to help you do it. I'm going to push you to do it because when you do it, then I'm coming behind you and you're going to bless me after you get blessed. So why would I pull you down, which I can go with you, instead of saying, oh, I'm not going with you because you do it better than me? No, thank you for doing it better than me because we all have our different gifts. My gift my gift is doing media, production, and all that kind of stuff. And my sister does it as well. We can work together in that. Yeah. I'm not going to say, oh, no, you can't do it because I'm doing it by myself and I'm going to school recently. Or she may say, well, I have a bachelor's in it, so I'm going to. She don't say that. We can just help each other. Yeah. That's why we learn together. So maybe something's missing. Or say if I have, God make open doors and I have a movie in Africa, and then there's another one in Australia. My sister can do the Australia one, and I can do the African one. And then, we all can work together as a family, not putting one down because it's bigger, it's strength in numbers.
Yes.
So we can reach more people if I get her to go over there, my brother go over there, and, we have a family business as well because my brother does sewing, there goes my costume. We both do hair, there goes the hair. My sister does makeup, my brother does the makeup. We have a whole business within us where we can just push each other and grow from each other. Don't knock each other down because, maybe I don't do hair like my brother does hair, but he doesn't knock me down, I don't knock him down. I'm glad he does it. You know, my sister, my brother does makeup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my sister probably don't do the way my brother does it, vice versa. And, you know, we all don't know the computer like my other brother does, but we ask him to fix it for us.
Yes.
So we all got like our own special talents. We can grow from it. We can get strength from it. And we can, you know, use each other when we need them and not knock them down or say, well, I'm not going to talk to them because they don't know how to do it. No, they know how to do it. Talk to them. That's why God placed them in your life as your first friend.
Yes.
They got all that from me, by the way, just so you know.
And one of the first things, like my son was saying, I used to tell them all the time when they was little. Anthony would ask me, Mom, can I go over so-and-so house and spend the night? I said, oh, no, I want to play with somebody. I said, oh, you got somebody to play with. Then when I had the next two, they would ask the same thing. I said, oh, you got somebody to play with. I said, when the Lord blessed me with you, he blessed me with somebody that you can hang out with, play with. And I would always tell them, too, no matter who turn against you all, you four stick together. I said, you love one another. You support one another. I even told them this, and maybe some of y'all may say, oh, she went a little too far. I told them, if you date somebody and they don't like your sister or your brother, I said, you have to examine that because you're bringing them into the family. And when you bring them into the family, there's a discrepancy right there. I said, so you make sure that person love you, that they'll allow their heart to be big enough to love your family, because I want you all to stick together. And I will always tell them too, when different ones would have money and the other one would have no money, we would go to the store and I would say, oh, you're going to be selfish, you're not going to share with your brother, you're not going to share with your sister. And then they would say, oh no, Mom, we're going to share. I said, that's the way you should do. You got to share. Because when you get blessed with something, don't feel like it's just yours. Bless your family. Help your family out. That's what family is about. You know, we used to use this little old saying that charity starts at home. And then it's spread abroad. If it don't start in the house, how can you love people outside your house when you don't love the people in your house? I have seen that a lot. People would be so angry and mean at sisters and brothers. Then I would see them with their friends or somebody they're trying to be acquainted with, and they'll start talking, and I look at them like, is this the same person? Now this person that I seen doing this, and then now they're around other people, and they're real nice, sweet, and friendly. But we need to love on family, because family is the root of who you are. And like I said, I thank God for the family that I had growing up. I got a chance to know how my mom, my dad, and take some traits and attributes from them in order to be a great parent or a good parent now. I don't consider myself a great parent. I want to hear what my kids say about me. It's what they say about me that means a lot to me, instead of me standing up and saying, I'm a good mother, I did well. No, it's what my children says about me if I'm a good parent. That would give me the clarity that I've done the right thing. Okay, next person. Come on, let's talk.
Okay, so I guess I'll talk. And I'm going to hit y'all with a Bible verse like I always do whenever I
come on with it.
So,
come on, Reverend Deacon.
Yes. Now, this was actually in the Bible before it was a saying. So if anybody says, that's the saying, no, it was in the Bible first. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 says, love is patient and kind. The saying goes, love is patient, love is kind. But love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Now, if we're talking about family, there's a few of those things where we kind of just laughed or giggled on the inside. Like when we say it's not irritable and keeps no record of being wrong. People when you wake your little brother or sister up and you're trying to get them ready for school, they might hit you or say something silly to you or something that'll kind of get on your nerves. And then like, I'm gonna kill you, little stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I used to hear that in the house. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, oh, there's not gonna be no murder in this house. Get up, go to school.
And it keeps no record of being wrong. I'm sure we always talked about, but remember last time? Well, mommy said last time, remember when you did this last time? That's what that means. You're not supposed to keep a record of that. But in family, those things take place. But towards the end, at the 7th verse, it says, love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance.
Yeah.
So, you know, your family's always going to have your back.
Right.
Your family's always going to be the people that look out for you.
They should be the ones. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
and then, like, when it comes to people who don't have family now, or whose family have become estranged to them, and they're just by themselves, and they're kind of looking for a family to have, you can look at these attributes and you can see in other people how their family is and learn from that. If there's somebody that's gonna always have your back no matter what, like if you ask for a ride home because you get drunk at a party and then you can't drive home, I'm being honest, being real, and they answer the phone and they're always got your back and they always answer the phone and they're always like, girl, you gotta stop. Like, you really gotta stop. You can't be doing this. Like, you know, I want you to do better.
Right.
If you have that friend in your life, that person is qualified as family. But how you know that these people are not, if you are by yourself and you're looking for family and friends, when you call on a friend and they don't answer the phone or they're always too busy, but they always need something from you, and then when you don't answer them, you're not a faithful friend, you're not a good friend, you're not... I thought you was, you didn't have my back, but they always be hanging out with everybody else. But they always call on you when they need help. That's not a friend, that's not family. You need to cut that off first as a friend. You need to just not have a friendship period with that person. Because that definitely won't qualify as family. But the latter, or the former, what I said earlier, what I said before, that qualifies as family. And that's what you need. If you don't have people in your circle that are blood, that will be your family, then you can find family in friends.
Yes. Yes, you can. And you can pick your friends. One thing you can't pick is your enemy. I always would tell my kids that when they go to school and they'll come home, Mom, my friend said this and my friend want me to come over. I said, well, how long you been knowing this person? But you can pick them. But one thing about you can't pick your family. Especially when you're born into them, you can't pick that family. Some people are born into a family where nobody get along, just don't get along. And you say, man, I wish I could have picked my family, but you can learn how to love your family, learn how to understand them where they at. Because some family members, it could be a father or a mother that was brought up in a house that wasn't fully, both fully functional. They was dysfunctional. And then you marry the person, and then that person become the child father or the mother or something. They're bringing into that household what they've been through. And then you'll say, well, my mom don't understand me. She don't know how to talk to you. Or my daddy don't know how to love me. He don't know how to talk to me. It's because he probably was brought up, or she probably was brought up in a household where love wasn't shown and where it wasn't given to him or her. So they don't know how to give it to you. They're giving to you the measure of what they have been given. So you becoming a Christian or get to know Christ and read this word, God will teach you how to love them. Teach you how to love them where they at. Because that might just be where they at. It might be something that happened in their life when they was 8 years old, and they might still be stuck at 8. And the reason they still stuck at 8 because that hurt is still there. And then you wondering why, oh my God, I don't know why they treat me like this or why they talk to me like this. Because when they see you at the age of 8, they only see themselves. And then they're talking to you in that manner as to how they was talked to. And you say, well, I love them so much, but why they don't love me back? Because at their age, maybe they didn't get that. So you will have to look at the big picture. You will have to try to ask questions about what happened to them in their past and all that. So you can hear and understand where they was at instead of judging them where they have been. And so you would know how to love your parents in spite of, or love your child in spite of, because your child could have had some issues going on around that you didn't even know nothing about. Because a lot of times when young people go through things, they don't like to tell the parents at first. But if you're a parent that's paying attention, you will look and you will see the character have changed. Then you begin to ask questions. But a lot of times they will hold it in. And then you will see the change in your child and saying, God, what happened to my child? But charity starts at home, I feel like. And then you can spread it out to other people. Because if you can't love the people that are around you, that is in your circle, that is your family, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your mom and your daddy, you have an issue. But you could go out and love other people. You're not really loving other people. You're just showing people the side of you want them to see. That's what that is. Okay. Next. Come on. Talk with us.
Yeah.
Come on, family. Talk now. We gotta talk here.
All right, your turn. Go.
We're encouraging
Yes.
people. We're
Come on, Raina,
talking
give us your
about the
take on it.
family.
All right, Lorena, come on. We want your take on it
Put your pen in your
now.
mouth.
Ready, set, go.
That's right. That's right. She said hers, not yours.
All right, well, I guess I'll go.
I love you. I love you too.
I wrote down pretty much the same thing she said.
Okay.
You can't choose your family. Those are people you cannot pick. It's just kind of like one of those things that you just kind of got to deal with. But I am thankful for my family because they helped me in tremendous ways. Again, we're a close-knit family, so when you see Taurus, you're probably going to see me. When you see Therese, you're going to know we're not too far behind. Anthony and all of us like to be together. We are actually each other's best friends. We tell each other all the crazy stuff, the funny stuff. We have moments in the house where we're just like, I don't know, we have a lot of fun. So really, us being in the quarantine is not a problem for us because we're always together anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I take that as a blessing. I also am thankful because after having Arena and being a single parent, like they helped me take care of her like a lot. Some days I may have to do a lot of work, or I may not feel good, and one of my brothers will take her, my mom will take her, my dad will take her.
Support.
And then, you know, when I'm ready for her, they know, all right, we bringing Arena to you. But I just appreciate them being here and being helpful to me.
She's being around now.
And yeah, she has a lot of energy, and she's definitely not like me when I was a baby. So, like, keeping up with her is a lot, and they really do help me. My brothers, they put that toughness in her, so when she falls, she get right back up like it's nothing. They turn her upside down, they do all kinds of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let them do it because it's making her tough. And I kind of like that quality because I'm like that. I grew up with boys, so of course I kind of have that tough edge about me. But I'm really grateful for like my family that I have, and I wouldn't have chose nobody else if I had a choice to choose. So that's it.
Yeah.
I knew I was your favorite.
Yes.
I had it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Husband.
Come on, Tamara. Don't try to sneak out the talk.
Trying to act like he babysitting.
Yeah. I'm just glad I got a family. Thank you very much.
Another thing about us as a family is that if we have spats in the house, like us siblings, we're like have a spat, we'll just go, you know. And then 2 seconds later, we're like, okay, so what are we eating later? You forget about what happened 2 seconds later, 'cause, you know, my mom didn't play that when we was kids. We argued. She was like, all right, now hug. So every time we're arguing, now hug. She'll make us hug so that it's helping us now. You know, we do have spats. 2 seconds later, we're like, what you eating, or where we going, or, you know, are you feeling okay? And also having a spiritual family is good as well because we can pick up on spiritual things before they say anything.
Right.
You know, we pick up on different patterns. Like, okay, so you're not doing that like usual. So what's going on with you today, or what's up with you, or you know, or we'll pick up. Okay, you don't need to be around that person because they don't fit in our clique, they don't fit in our group, and you know, they don't fit in our unit. You know, and even when we go to church, we praise God together as a unit. You know, so we understand strength is in numbers because, like my sister said, we do everything together. So we go to church together, we praise God together. You know, even if one person want to go to church, I like to do. I not leave one person in church by themselves, just in case something happened that don't need to happen. Where we have another set of eyes or another set of hands that we have to use. You know, so we never know. We never know what we have to do with family. So it's good to have spiritual family. It's good to have my parents who, being pastors' kids, they never told us. They gave us balance. I say that way. They never said, "Oh, you just have to be in church. You can't go to the movies. Can't go to the bowling alley." That's why we in church today because they gave us a choice to go to church, not made to go to church. When you're made to do something, it starts, getting like, I don't like this because they're making me do it.
Right.
We're that type of people that, we do something. We like to do something we can't do.
Right.
But if we have balance and we, kind of know, okay, out there it's not cool, so let's go back to church. That's why we in it today. Sometimes we go more than our parents, but that's good because they're seasoned
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to get their precious rest to get their beauty sleep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And they beauty
That's
rest.
right. That's
Yeah.
So we go out and we
Praise the
we
Lord.
praise God with
Bring
for
back the
them,
report.
and
Yeah.
come home and bring back the report for them, and they put that in us so that we want to go to church, not have to go to church, and it's like, oh, and we're not rebelling right now. And when
Right.
you see us, you see the balance.
Yeah.
We might not look like your normal, your traditional church kids or whatever, and we didn't wild out nothing like that because we had balance.
Right.
And, we get out the house, we're not gonna go crazy and
Yeah.
go on drugs
Embarrass
or
our
lose our mind or embarrass our parents because we don't want to do that. Number one, I fear God. Number two, I fear my mom because she'll look at you and say, you know what you did yesterday? What's going on with you? She'll ask you till she tell you whatever, and till you tell her. She'll ask you 100 questions. My dad, he'll do the same thing. He asks you the same question over and over. You may get mad, but he asks you over and over until you give him the same answer and
should've been
you
a
keep
lawyer.
going.
He's gonna make
You know,
sure
and that's
you
good. I like when
Yes.
people get a conversation with
He's
him.
gonna say, huh?
And he'll get it out of him or make him
Yes.
calm down. So that's good to have that type of family. And if you don't have it, it's all right. Pray, God is your family.
That's right.
God is your family. Sometimes this, and then I'll be quiet. Sometimes I was speaking to a youth in New York when we was in New York, and a young man was going through something, with his family.
Mm-hmm.
And I said sometimes a parent is absent because God don't want you to see what that parent is doing and adapt to what that parent has, was bringing out. Because it'd be all good when you do visitations and stuff, but literally in there you see all sides of that parent,
Yeah.
all sides of that person, and God don't want you to adapt that person's spirit inside of you. So that's why God, allowed a person to be absent, is you only see the good side so that you can pick up the good qualities. And you may, don't get upset with that one parent, young people, because you have that off balance thing. Just understand that, well, maybe there's a reason why that parent ain't there. The reason why my mom's keeping me from that parent or my dad's keeping me from that parent, because they have qualities that they don't want you to pick up.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So just be patient with your parent. Don't be mad at them.
Right. And then, like the Word of God says, train up a child in the way that he should go. That, we brought them up in the church, but once they got in high school and wanted to go different places in New York, and Jaleesa went to college, and, some parents would say, you better not go this place, or you better not go this place. I told them the do's and the don'ts. But when they got older to make their choices and go to clubs and do all those stuff, I let them go. I let them go see what it was like, because I never had a chance to go see what it was like. And they came home and told me, Mom,
Trying to slide in on the sneak tip and go with them.
Mom, and one day Jaleesa was in college, and here I am at home, and all of a sudden she dropped in my spirit. I said, I wonder what Jaleesa doing.
Oh, I'm gonna tell that
so
story.
I jumped in my Hummer and I drove.
That's not
up
really
to
the way,
school.
man. I'm gonna tell the
when-
story when she get done.
This is the story.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give all
And
that.
when I drove up to the school, this is him. And when I got there, this is the story.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to talk now.
So when I got to the school and I looked around, I said, it looks real quiet around here. So young girl got out of the car and she was saying, oh, you looking for Jaleesa? I said, oh yeah. No, we know you, Jaleesa, Mama. I said, I know, because I visit here a lot, unaware. And so I felt in my spirit she was doing something, and she had went out to the club and all that. But when she came back to me, talking to me, she said, Mama, I was so afraid in there. The room was so small, and then all of a sudden a fight broke out, and she said, I didn't know which way to go. She said, but I thank God I got up out of there. So I just thank God that I allowed them a chance to do stuff, because some parents won't let you do that when you're brought up in the church. Because when I was brought up, we didn't go to movies. We didn't do anything like that. But I said to myself, I'm going to let my children experience God for themselves and get a relationship with him. But I'm going to be an example before them so they would know the way to walk. And not me hammering it in them, telling them, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Because if you do that, you'll push them away. And I wanted my family, everybody, to love God as much as I love God. And I wanted them to get to know him for themselves. Now, I'm not saying that it was bad the way I was brought up. I thank God for the way I was brought up. I thank God that I didn't get the chance to get out there, because I might have got out there, got stuck, and didn't get a chance to come back. So I thank God that I'm here, and I love my mother and my father for everything that they put in me. And hopefully someday and days I do hear my kids tell me that. But I want my example of my experience with Christ to fall down on them. And if you have a family member in your household that are not saved, don't try to preach to them every day. Don't try to tell them their wrongs. Don't try to tell them what they're doing wrong, because people already know what they're doing wrong. You don't have to keep telling them, oh, you know you did this, oh, you doing that, and why you doing this? I'm trying to get the house where I want you to go to church with me. Just pray. And be an example before that loved one. Eventually, they will follow you to church. And one of these Sundays, they might beat you to church. They'll get up and get dressed before you get dressed, and you'll be so surprised. Just pray and stay before the Lord and ask the Lord and envision in your mind how you want your family to be. And be an example before them. Don't hound them all the time. Just love on them. Pray for them. Love on them and just pray for them. Oh, Tamaris. He's not quiet. Don't let that fool you. My baby is not quiet at all. He's the one that keeps us laughing around the house. Always got something funny to say, and he's the bubble. He keeps us bubbling.
I am here. I had to cancel my tour with Kevin Hart. So I'm here. Well, they already said everything about family. I really don't have anything to say.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, as I echo everyone. Yeah, we're a close family. I'm the youngest, but the biggest. Amen.
Yes, Lord.
What does family mean to you?
Family means what you see here. We're a family. Yeah, that's what family means.
Being together.
Oh man.
One thing
Your turn now. Okay. All right, so. Okay.
One thing I did, but I want to
go
say
again.
One thing that I like about our family and growing up with the church was that like us four never made like the other one feel bad about being who they were in front of like other people in public, like at church. So it made it easy for all of us to get along with everyone in the church, like all the young people, like not having problems, not having situations, all that stuff. If it ever came up, like us as a church family, like because we were the family here first, and then we incorporated everyone else into our family like that, we were able to resolve any problems before they became serious, or like any disagreements, if we had any, to be honest. But that's the one thing that really helps, is to like loving your family for who they are at home and out in public, so that it's easy for everyone else to love them too.
Yes.
So they don't have an excuse. So when somebody doesn't like somebody in the family, you have a few more set of hands to finish, or to solve any equations that don't add up right.
That's a great way to put it.
Hello, Sister Peterson, Sister Sharita, Sister Battle, Sister Haynes. Hi. Thank y'all for chiming in. Love you. Okay, husband, your turn.
All right, so now
You the head of the house.
Oh Lord, I'm the head of the house. Oh,
People had our backs.
oh Lord. Okay, so let me just say, I gotta talk about that trip to the college, because I just gotta go there. But anyway, I wanna talk to some families may not have the setup that they desire to have, and that's okay. You just have to do the best you can with what you have. You are in control, whether you realize it or not. That's kind of my philosophy. You kind of control the atmosphere, the pulse, the tempo. Every family is not always made up of somewhat drama-free, is like the best way I can put it. And I just want to say, I don't take lightly to the appreciation and the way that my family has turned out. You know, I'm kind of a keep it real type guy, and for those of you that know us and that knew our ministry, Pastor was on the spiritual side of the coin, and I was the practice spiritual kind of side of the coin, because, you know, even though I went to church every Sunday, the church was just what we did. And I had to learn to get my own relationship. So before that time, you know, I did what I did. I was who I was. Church was on Sunday, but the rest of the week was fair game. And then especially after I left Newburgh and went into service, you know, I was grown then. So, you know, they got this really good balance. There were times, to be honest, that Pastor and I have had, you know, formal discussions about whether we thought they should go to the party or not go to the party, you know, because I would call that
Elevated fellowship.
Yes, elevated fellowship. Because I had been there, you know. All my friends from home know I came up being a DJ. They all know I came up playing in the church and playing in the school and playing wherever. You know, my mom taught me that music was a gift. And so I wasn't so in tune to, well, you know, when you get into a place with Christ, and I know I'm getting ready to upset a few people about this, but that's okay. Y'all are going to be all right. And the Lord is going to love me anyhow.
Yes.
So I, you know, I got into a place later that, you know, I was placed in positions, and they were okay, but they were still by choice, to just kind of stick with one genre of music for quite some time. But, you know, those of you, like I said, that know me, I did all kinds. If you had a wedding, if you had a banquet, if you had whatever you had, if you needed a DJ, you know, this is what we did. So our house had some balance in it. It had the side of the coin that Daddy's been to the club, Daddy's been in the fights, Daddy's been to the bar, Daddy's, you know, he's done those things. And Mommy had the other side. So it was, you know, a blessing, and I don't take it lightly, because our kids, you know, they're no different than anybody else out there. So I don't want y'all to be kind of misconstrued that that they're different. They're not different. Trust me, we've had the same issues in our house. May not be at the same level, but we have had them. And it's just all about how you approach the issues. You know, there's a big stigmatism when you're the child of a preacher. So already the magnifying glass is on you. So actually, for those of you that aren't, might be a bigger blessing, because they didn't always, and I can say this now that they're adults, they didn't always meet the standard that we wanted them to meet. And there was a lot of days that we had to bail them out of stuff. And for the purpose of, and I'm going to keep it all the way real, for the purpose of maintaining our dignity in ministry.
Yeah.
Because, not because God said it was so bad, because we know God's a forgiving God, but because man will judge you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm keeping it real. Now, we having family talk right now. Now, elders are talking. Man will judge you. They don't care how many times you've done it right. You mess it up one time and you got a problem with man.
Yeah.
Especially being in the church. We're not perfect. We're certainly not perfect. So we had to get to a place where we had to let our kids know, you're going to mess it up. And don't think that we're still not going to discipline you or still not tell you what it is. But the love behind it is different. Because they had that support at home, then when the street treats them a type of way, they know how to handle it.
Right.
So our home was no different from any other home. Same issues that we've had. You can't even imagine some of the things that we've done, you know. And I'm not saying we're bad or good. What I am saying, we're real.
Yes.
We're a real family.
Yes.
So we you know, Pastor and I had some times where we had our, what you call it at?
Elevated fellowship.
The elevated fellowship about what we should do with our kids. I remember one night just talking about a party. Kids wanted to go to a party. We fought about that. I mean, we had elevated fellowship about that. So I let them. Well, it got to the point where I kind of won the elevation, and I let them go on out. We let them go to the party down on Liberty Street, and and shortly after, it kind of went to the left, and folks started fighting and everything else. But see, again, to me, and please, I want you to put this in perspective. Put it in perspective. If you don't experience those realities, you will never know how to handle them.
That's right.
There are some, I tell people all the time, until you've been in war and you've had a bullet shot at you, I cannot explain to you the feeling that goes through your body to where you understand it like I do. You have to experience it.
Yeah.
So, yes, it went to the left. It went wrong. We got a phone call. We hopped in the car. We flew down to Liberty Street, and all the kids was in the street. And the good thing about it was that people in the street recognized who we were.
Yes.
And it was because of that they got our kids, we got them in the car, and we got them out of there. But for me, I was, again, we keep it in perspective, I was grateful that they went through the experience. Their mama wasn't happy because that's what a mama does. That don't even have anything to do with church. So why did I say all that? I said all that because we want every family out there to know you can make changes. We are not a perfect family. At any given moment, God forbid, even now, any one of our children can go to the left. And we'll have the same worries and stresses that any other family may have. We're not above that. Sometimes people think that that's the case with a lot of Christian families. That's a deception. We're not above that. But we try to do the best that we can to make sure that we put things in place that our families don't get in those positions. So you can make changes in your family. God will give you the strength, the ability. You keep praying. God will make some changes in your house. I gotta tell this story. I know I'm taking up time now, so I'm taking up time to tell this story. Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
All right, tell the story. So let me give you the real situation on the whole the Lord telling the pastor something wasn't quite right. Of course, Arena. See, we're a real family. Arena's being Arena right now.
Loose here.
What was going on? Y'all, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, let me say it again. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Pastor comes and wakes me up. Jaleesa's in school down at Dobbs Ferry, trying to be grown. Trying to, grow up and be a lady. You know how us men are. I was not trying to go to no Dobbs Ferry at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just wasn't trying to do it. Well, of course, you know that I didn't win that battle. So we got in the Hummer. We going down to Dobbs Ferry, right? Now I gotta make a confession. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I already knew that they was going to the club. Because again, I have a relationship with my kids, and I had a relationship with my daughter. She told me a lot of things that her daddy and her we talk about. So I already knew that she was going to the club. And I'm gonna be honest, I told her, be safe and have you a good time. That's what I told her. Okay, now you can send me wherever you want to go. The Lord still loves me. It is what it is. We being real. So, of course, Pastor say, I'm going down there. We go down there. I felt so bad.
See how I found out?
Yeah, I said that already.
Okay.
Yeah. I said that already. I felt so bad for my poor daughter. Because now we're going to roll up on this place, and all of her friends are going to see her parents coming to check on her in the middle of the night. When we got there, thank God that they were pulling up. Because I'm telling you, she'd have had me going all around Dobbs Ferry trying to go in these clubs. So,
That still would have been in the club.
so we got there, and thank God for the blessing of things. God does small little things to change stuff around. The Lord had blessed us to be able to have a Hummer, an H2 Hummer, and it was a rather nice looking Hummer. And when we got out of that Hummer, all the kids were so fascinated with the Hummer that it took the embarrassment off of our poor child. I was so glad because I felt so bad for her. Like her parents are standing at the dorm room door while all these kids come back. So I said that to say, and I'm finished, but I said that to say we're a real family. We do just like any other family, and we love and we want to protect our children just like any other family. But they have grown up. And they have come into their own, and they have did things that any normal or other child would do.
Right.
So, but I just had to tell that story how it really went.
Disclaimer: me and Therese didn't go to house parties.
Now I need to put a scripture in here now.
She's getting spiritual now. Yeah.
Just something to read on later. 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. It was stating here that if anybody could take care of somebody outside of their family and do more for other people and don't take care of his own household, you're worse than an infidel. And I thank God that I have a husband here that always have worked and took care of his household. But those of you that don't have that in your life and don't have somebody to constantly provide for you or be that strong arm in the household, you got to be the strong arm in the household. I want you to know God will be there with you. God will help you to balance it out.
Yes.
God will help you to put into your household what you need to go into your household. And then we was talking about love and everything. We were talking about how charity, you should show love to one another. Even though, as a mother and my kids was growing up, I was learning how to be a parent. And then you don't want nothing to happen to your children. You don't want to go through that phase of them getting in trouble or you having to bury one of them before you be buried. And you don't want to go through those things, but those are the things that constantly stays in your mind when you love and trying to raise your children, and you're trying to raise them in the fear of God, but not afraid of God. But in the fear of God, where they will respect God and respect the house of God and respect themselves as God has told, as we should do, as the word, respect ourselves as to how we should carry ourselves, who should love us. Young ladies shouldn't just let men take advantage of them, and young men shouldn't let women take advantage of them, because it goes both ways. And then when you see your child headed into a brick wall, you're going to want to block that wall, because you ain't going to want that wall to hit your child. Just like with Christ don't want nothing to hurt us or harm us, so we look out for one another. And I always told my children, I told Therese and Tamaris when they started school down here and I was still in New York, I said, you know what I need for y'all to do? I said, if one person jump on y'all, it's going to be two on them, right? And I let them know that you stand together, you fight together, you pray together. And like the old saying that says, a family that prays together stays together. So you got to always incorporate God in whatever you're doing, because you can do the best you can. But the kids and your family members still don't see what you're putting out. But if you allow God to come in the midst of it, it will work out and it will be good. I thank God for my family today. I thank them for standing by me at all times. I was even reading something in the Bible I want to leave with you on tonight, where we was talking about, I was reading about Abraham, how the Lord had told Abraham to go out and leave his family and go into another country. But before Abraham left, previously Abraham's father, one of his sons died, so he left one place and he was headed out of the country, but he got stuck in the place what was named by his son. And when he got stuck in that city, that's when the Lord was telling Abraham, I need for you to move on because I got a blessing for you. This person is stuck right here. You may be in your household and feeling like you stuck, like you can't progress, you just can't grow, you just can't do what you need to do. You feel like, I know I'm more than just this. I know I'm more than what's going on right here. I feel like I'm stuck right here. And see, the Lord was letting Abraham know that if you stay right here with your father is grieving over this child. So he's going to stay right here. He ain't going to move because every time he hear the name of this city here, he think of that child. But I got more for you. And then when Abraham stepped out, he said, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to elevate you. And that's what everybody wants for their families. You want your family to be blessed. You don't want to see your family suffer. You don't want to see your family not have. You want to see them have something. So if we don't leave anything else with you on today, we want to leave with you. Just stick with your family. Love on your family. Talk to your family. Share with your family. Let them know how you feel about certain things. They might not be able to handle some of the stuff you tell them, but tell them in a good way. If they don't receive it, walk away and then say, but I'm just trying to tell you how I feel and where I'm at right now, because I want to love you and I want you to love me for who I am. This is how God made me. If you can't love me for who I am, why are you trying to say that you love me anyway? This is what you want to change me? You can't change me. You can only love me for who God made me to be. There are some people and families that try to change you. You can't change that family member. God birthed that person and get that person to come out the way they are, and you want to change them so you can love them? If you got to change me so you can love me, you didn't love me anyway.
Right, come on.
Because it's not like that. It's not like that. Family, we got to stick together, especially in this trying time. I know there are families out there that can't even be with the other family member while the family member is going through this corona in the hospital, and they longing to be with them, but they can't be with them now. And I'm sure their hearts are upset and they're scared and they're praying because they can't be with that person. But what if that person that is laying in that hospital, you didn't get to clear some things up with them? You didn't get to share how much you love them, and then you got to live that down for the rest of your life. So you need to make sure that you get everything correct. Have everything straight to the best of your ability with your family, because when corona hit them, you won't have to sit there and say, well, God, if you by chance take them, they know that I love them. They know I want to be there with them. They know I want to hold their hand. And God, I'm grieving right now because I can't touch them. I can't hold their hand. I can't let them know that I'm with them all the way, and I'm going to love them through this. So God, knowing that they knew when we was around one another how much I love them, they can glean on that. They can absorb on that and say, I'm going to get through this, and I will get healthy, and I will come back home to love them. So I want you to know today that we are praying for you. We are praying that love abide in your household. We're praying that you are really enjoying the steward coming into your house as we are enjoying coming into your house. I see that we're loosening up because we love being with you. We love talking to you, and we want to encourage you with all we got. Just stick with your family. Maybe you have a loved one in your household today that you asking that God would save him or her, and you have been praying day and night for a change. I do believe today is your day. God going to help that change come to your house. We're going to pray with you, and we're going to keep it lifted up before the Lord, that God make those changes for you. Maybe if it's your husband, if it's your children, maybe your children are giving you a hard time. We're going to ask that God do that for you so the children will even get closer to God, because right now we'll get into the end of time. I know I said it last week and the week before that we get into the end of time. I know I said, it was said in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s, but honey, get ready, get ready, get ready. Time is winding up, and we got to know that we got to be prepared, and we got to be ready for the end time. I hear y'all. We got to be ready for the end time and prepare for the coming of the Lord. And I want you to be ready. I want you to be ready. I want to see you up in heaven, and we be rejoicing and praising God together when the end come. I want you to walk up and say, oh, there she is. My name probably won't be Pastor Stewart. Then it probably won't be Reverend Stewart. You just call me Tammy. I don't care. But as long as we up there praising God together, I just want us to be ready and prepared. And if anything that I could do or say to help you to get there, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to say it. Is something else you want to say, boo?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done.
Yes, another thing about family is, like my mom said earlier, how she told my brothers to stick with each other.
Mm-hmm.
She told us that when somebody got on my nerves or bothered me, I never had to fight. My sister fought for me. Because I was a little quiet and timid. You know, I wasn't really a fighter like I am today. But she would fight them for me. I remember one time, my grandmother had to say, "Stop, Jalisa," because she was beating up a little boy. I couldn't do anything because she was already jumping on him already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I could do anything. I remember one video of my dad trying to teach me to ride a bike. You know, and I'm going around the bike, and I guess the other guys are just saying, "Look what we can do." So my dad paying the camera to my sister, and she was me mugging them like, "Go somewhere." And she was on her little tricycle.
Yeah.
So she was ready to get him, and thank God for that. And then another thing, when we was in New York, it was just us. You know, because we had family, we had cousins, but they were much older and, doing their thing. And, our family here, they were kind of close to our age. So, it was a different
Adaptation.
Yes, for us, because we were so used to having all of them. And we got up there with just us, which was good. And then people in the church became our family.
Church community.
And that was good because we look at them as family still to this day.
Right.
And they came in and just fitted in with us. They didn't try to separate us and try to they just fit in, all of us. And anytime we go up there, they come to see all of us.
All of the.
They don't put one away or one over here.
And all
Even
the children.
even in other churches, like other church families,
Right.
different churches, they come and hang out with us, and we go up there. Y'all in Newburgh, can we hang out? And that's good. That good feeling that we get that presence, and we glad for our family. It started with my mom and dad. They showed us how to love each other, which showed us how to love other people, which we showed them how to love us, and then they love other people, and it was just fun. Those trips when we went to, I even think about it today. My mom, today when we're here, certain times she'll call us, "Where you at? What you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
But in Newburgh, we can go to Kingston and go to no phone calls, nothing. We go bowling alley, y'all, no phone calls,
I know
nothing.
you had people looking
She
out
knew
for
that,
you.
looking out for it.
Yes.
I'm glad about that.
Yes.
I'm glad that I do have all these siblings in this big family.
Yes.
Because I think I couldn't have made it by myself. Couldn't have made it by myself. I'm glad I have all of them. I'm glad I have my mom who is in church and my dad who's in church. And showed us, like I said before, the balance. And also, like I said, when you have that family, it's good to have it because when you do something, you should support that family member.
Right.
You support that family member. I'm the preacher of the family. And anytime I go somewhere to preach, everybody come with me.
Right.
And my sister, she's just the prayer on the side. And my
Yes.
brother, he helps me. He armor bears me. I don't need anybody else to do it for me. I don't need to find, could you do this for me, trying to show off. I didn't ask him to do it. He just automatically did it for me. And my other brother does. He does the reading for me. So it's like a family affair already. And he do praise and worship. And, and it's good. We sing together. All four of us sing. And, it's good to have that good connection because when my mom, when she had the church, we were a little young. But now we do it again. She has a praise team. She has a prayer warrior. She has her armor bearers. She has everything she needs that we can teach someone else to add to us what we're doing and fall right on in and know how to do it because they see how we're doing it. And if they mess it up, we'll get it.
Yeah. So we want to give a shout out to we love our Macon family as well, but we want to give a shout out to our Newburgh family and our Newburgh community because you guys were there for my kids. Yeah. We have Jan Quell and all of everybody. I became everybody's father. All the Burks family out there, the Woody family, all of our kids. They all hung together. And
Love you.
we thank God for all of you all. Just being a whole group of kids that wanted to do different. Walter and Ann, the Murrays, and everybody. We just was all tight knit, and
Yes.
we can't forget Bernard. Now Bernard grew up with us.
Yes.
He was the other child in the house, and the Ebenezer family embraced us. All the kids there, you know, all our kids. They all stay in touch. You know, we come to town. They want to see us. We want to see them. You know, that's a beautiful thing. You know, they all looked out for each other, and I appreciate that. I have to say personally, I appreciate that because I was proud of my city. You know, people say what they want to say about Newburgh, but I was proud of my city. I wanted my children to grow up in my hometown.
Right.
You know, so y'all looked out. You know, even I got to give a shout out to Sister Adeline. Up in the school system, because she would keep an eye on them,
she helped
and
me,
she would keep me from coming in there with weapons of mass destruction on a lot of days.
Yes.
So we thank God for that. You know, it's just a beautiful thing. I love my city.
Yeah.
The Stevens family, well, their family.
Yes,
They were my nieces and nephews. You know, my kids always had some place to go, something to do. Somebody always looking out for them. Because they didn't have family up there. My immediate family was, you know, spread out in Albany in different places, and you know, for a little while I had my older brother's kids there, Tiki and Tashira, and hey Nisi, and then they moved away from us. We used to hang there on Sundays at my big brother's house, but we just thank God for y'all. See, it does take a village, and guess what? We can still have a village if we choose to have a village, even if we aren't in the same space. And now this virtual stuff is definitely teaching us that we can all be together and be apart at the same time.
Right.
So
we're gonna
thank
get that
God for
Zoom
all of
on.
you.
We're gonna Zoom it. Yes, but we thank God for you all tuning in. Oh, that Chris, hey Christopher. That's my nephew here in Georgia, yes. And that's the one that he jump over cars and everything, you know, to try to help. Yes. Thank God for
Tanisha, Jaquan.
Jaquan.
I'm trying to remember
I
everybody.
want to give everybody a shout out. And we thank you all for listening and tuning in with us. Yes.
All the new hopers, I guess that's the best way to put it. The new hopers.
Yes. We thank you all for tuning in with the Stewart family. And Raina said, and me too. She had to give a shout out too. We thank God for you all. We love you so much. And we'll be back with you on next Sunday at 11 o'clock and then at 6:30 with another subject. And we want to get it fixed up. We want to get it fixed up some kind of way that we'll be able to conversate with each other and have a conversation even online like this. And on Thursday, be looking out for me on Thursday. I'm going to be doing a talk show with a sister friend of mine in Christ. She reached out to me, and we're going to do that. We're going to have a good discussion. It's going to be very interesting. And I want you all to tune in, and it's going to be very educational of the Word of the Old and the New Testament. So we just want you all to tune in and listen. And we just want to help you grow in grace and help you grow in the Word of God and help you just love on God even more than you love Him now, because He is good. And I want you to know that the Stewart family, from our house to your house, we love you. And here we go with the kiss. Love you much. God bless you.
And if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, put them in the comments.
I guess we'll do question and answer next time.
We'll do question and answer, you know.
Yes.
And Zoom.
Love
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.